Hi there. I would like to share with you something that I have learned about human universal health. Those concepts are so big. And through my journey, I realized, actually, this is not rocket science. We just haven't been given the right information. Fundamentally, our human universal health is simple. And so I've built a program that I'd like to just highlight for you called Simple Human Universal Health. And at the core of that, it's that the universe is complex, but it is fundamentally simple. The universe is a sea of energy and one vast quantum field, and everything is connected. We, as humans, are made of star stuff. The same elements that make up the universal make up the human as well. It's known as Chan. And yet, at the core of our very existence is something known as the microzyma. It's the base, it's the substrate of life itself. One could call it the darkness. And yet, we are a combination of both. We are both human and universal beings, but only in homeostasis, or only in balance, where the two can meet, are we able to optimize our own human health. We are raw potential, but what are we doing with it? And really, where does it come from? Where is that homeostasis both activated and measured? And it is at the heart. The heart is at the core of our true human capacity and potential. But how do we measure it? And what determines the flow of an organism? What connects our bodies and energy to life itself? Well, at the heart of our biology is breath and oxygen. And at the heart of the heart, we can also see that the heart is the first organ of life. It's where our consciousness is born. It's where our memories are held. It's also, if the heart stops, it's over. But not only is that relevant, our knowing, our love center, our connection, our relatedness to one another, but interestingly, our measure of health is determined by autonomic regulation. How does our heart rate vary? Because if you know when you go to the hospital and somebody's on a flat line, it's because there's no variability left. That variability is the parasympathetic and the sympathetic system at work. And we can measure that ability to regulate homeostasis through what's known as heart rate variability. But ultimately, what is the distinction between a system that can regulate and not regulate? It's the ability for the body and the being to have communication systems that work. If there's no communication, you can't have good health. And where does that communication and information come from? Well, we can look at neurons, but we can also look at biophotons. What is the earth and what is the sun? And are they also reflective of this communication system? Because information is the way the body actually turns things on and turns things off. In the absence of good information, you have a breakdown and communication. So one question I want to leave you with in this short segment today is that if you look at things right down to the cell, or if you expand all the way out to the universe, these things are very much the same. The universe may be a reflection expressed right down to the cellular level. But what fundamentally determines our health is the environment in which we live, both emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because what sets us apart from being in balance is when we're in the face of toxicity. And toxicity exists biologically, but it can also exist relationally. If our environment is in bad relationship, that can cause enough stress for the organism of human to also break down. And so I ask you today to consider, what is the environment you're living in, and what is the environment you're creating? And are you optimizing your own human health and potential? So there's more on that soon. Thank you.